the screen fades from darkness. A low, commanding voice cuts through the silence. Sometimes, the heroes you never hear about are the ones who saved everyone else. She was stationed at Checkpoint Delta, a place no one thought twice about. Just another soldier with a rifle slung over her shoulder, eyes scanning the horizon, boots planted firmly in the dust. But when a convoy rolled through that gate one afternoon, and a man stepped out to salute her first, the base froze. Soldiers stopped mid-stride. Officers glanced in disbelief, because the man saluting her wasn't just anyone. He was a decorated colonel, and the soldier he honored wasn't supposed to even be there. Private First Class Sarah Collins never wanted recognition. She never asked for medals or ceremonies. Her orders were simple: man the checkpoint, log vehicles, keep watch. It was a posting reserved for rookies, or for those who were healing, physically or mentally. Sarah was both. Every morning at dawn, she stood tall, scanning IDs, nodding politely, keeping her face unreadable. To most who passed her, she was invisible, just another uniform in a line of thousands. But buried beneath that quiet routine was a story the Army didn't talk about. 3 months earlier, Afghanistan. Her unit had been ambushed on a narrow dirt road outside Helmand province. The attack came fast. An explosion rocked the convoy, and chaos erupted. Gunfire tore through the smoke, and men scrambled for cover. Sarah wasn't even supposed to be there. She was a combat medic filling in at the last moment. But fate has a way of placing people exactly where they're needed. When others hit the ground, Sarah moved forward. She crawled through dust and fire, dragging the wounded by their vests, shielding them with her own body as bullets cracked overhead. Her leg was torn open by shrapnel, but she refused evacuation. One by one, she patched torn arteries, pressed trembling hands against bleeding wounds, and whispered through gritted teeth, "Hold on, don't you quit on me." By the time reinforcements arrived, nearly a dozen soldiers were alive, because she had refused to stop. Her blood mixed with theirs, her uniform soaked through, but her hands never faltered. But the Army is a machine. Reports were filed, missions classified. Her actions, life-saving, heroic, were buried under the weight of bureaucracy. She was quietly reassigned. No medals, no ceremony. Just a posting at a checkpoint where she could heal in obscurity. For months, she stood at her station, unnoticed, carrying memories heavier than her rifle. Until that day. A convoy of armored SUVs rolled through. Soldiers stiffened, recognizing the insignia, high-ranking officers. Sarah did her duty, checking IDs, logging plates. Her face gave nothing away. Then, from the last vehicle, a tall figure stepped out. A colonel, ribbons gleaming on his chest, scars marking years of battle. He studied her name patch. His expression froze. "Collins?" His voice cut through the checkpoint air. Sarah swallowed hard. "Yes, sir." And then, it happened. The colonel removed his cap, straightened his posture, and delivered a flawless salute. To her, the base went silent. Soldiers stared in disbelief as the decorated officer, a man feared and respected across battlefields, paid honor to the quiet medic at the gate. 3 months earlier, that same ambush. Among the men Sarah had pulled from the dirt was this very colonel. Shot through the chest, fading fast, his vision clouded. Sarah had been the one pressing on his wound, refusing to let him slip away. She had whispered through the blood and chaos, "Stay with me. You don't get to leave yet." He hadn't remembered her face then. Only her voice, her hands, her will that refused to let him die until now. Until he saw the name Collins stitched across her chest. With his salute, the truth spread like wildfire across the base. The gate guard was no ordinary soldier. She was the reason their colonel still breathed. Respect rippled like a shockwave. Sarah's throat tightened. She shook her head, trying to deflect. "Sir, I was just doing my job." But the colonel's reply was firm, steady, and filled with emotion. "No, you went beyond your job. You carried men out when you couldn't even walk yourself. That isn't duty, that's valor." From that moment, Sarah was no longer invisible. Soldiers straightened when they passed her. Officers nodded with quiet respect. Her story could no longer be buried. Weeks later, she would be called to stand not at a checkpoint, but on a stage, a medal pinned to her chest, the crowd applauding. Yet even then, her mind returned to that day. The roar of explosions, the weight of blood on her hands, and the desperate whisper, "Stay with me." Because sometimes the bravest soldiers aren't the ones leading the charge. They're the ones who refuse to let anyone be left behind. Fade to black. Behind every uniform, there's a story worth telling.